So after scrolling through TikTok, I realized that I am not the only person who is like, what the heck was up with the jury in the documentary? And like, you could tell that the jury was fanning. And even though that Indian man said, oh, I didn't know who Diddy was. Yes, you knew something because just the way that they were I was just like not feeling it. And then the girl, the lady, she was clearly a fan of his. And the way she was describing how Diddy would like look over and like, how he would nod his head to things. I was just imagining like if this was a normal person, if this was an unattractive like dude that, she didn't know from a can of paint, she probably wouldn't be smiling when she's reminiscing about how he was responding to the things that to the atrocities that people were saying. And then I also wonder like how messages are delivered changes the perspective. So the whole Capricorn Clark thing, when like they said that when she said he kidnapped them, like I was so moved by that story. And I was like, what the heck, when he allegedly kidnapped her? But the jury member said they didn't believe it. So I was kind of just like, it's easy to say from this side, like, what the heck is going on? But I'm wondering how was the message presented that they thought because she was emotional about something that she was lying? Like, where does emotion turn into lies? And then like stuff that they were saying, it sounded to me like it came straight from the defense chair. Like they were quoting straight from the defense chair. And then like they're like, oh well, Cassie didn't leave, she kept coming back. Like, did you not hear like that he kidnapped her friend allegedly when she left? Like did you not see the video, the intercom? Like, what is happening? And I get like DV wasn't the charge that they were there for, but I just didn't understand like how they were coming up with their thoughts, how they were coming up with their solutions, and what they came up with. So I was scrolling through TikTok, and apparently I'm not the only one who was like taken aback by the jury and their decisions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch some of these videos and then of course have some commentary, because I was like, this is craziness. But thankfully I'm not the only one who thought that.
Her and that slick back ponytail should have been removed from the case. He ain't your friend.
Oh.
He's not your friend.
Oh, wrong one. That's for another. No, this is it.
Her and that slick back ponytail should have been removed from the case. He ain't your friend. He's not your friend. She's sitting there in this interview with this goofy ass smile. Yeah, we would. That's not your homeboy.
Yeah. And you know who also, like, I was like, what? Like at the end when that clip of Kalina, the fact that she was even on the interview, I was like, oh wow, like how did she get here? I thought they were like real cool. And then though, when at the end when she was like, yeah, I love him. I'm like, so you still love him or you loved him? Like, what's happening here? So I'm not judging these people because I don't know what their life story is, but it's pretty jarring to see. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, if Diddy was actually someone for good, imagine what he could have done if he had this level of power and influence on people. And then my other thing is, what books was he reading? Because we all need to be on alert in case there's someone like this around us, okay?
That's not your friend.
Right.
This man, oh my God. When I tell you this documentary took my edges to the VIP section of hell. Because what?
I never heard
I almost didn't make it out of episode 3. If
you
watch this with me on live, I had to pause that episode.
Yeah, and like, tell me that we're all the same without telling me that we're all the same, because I had to pause the episode so many times that before I got to episode 4, I wasn't even sure what happened in each episode because I just had to pause and they kind of just like ran. So I totally understand needing a break because this level of debauchery that they're alleging is pretty insane.
Episode so many times. As far as the jurors, if this is what the jury was comprised of,
exactly,
no wonder.
Exactly.
Like, this documentary was so hard to watch. It was so hard to watch, but it was so beautifully executed.
Yep, it was.
The natural progression of the timeline of events and the receipts. 50 Laurente Cent is not one to be trifled with. This is not a man that you want to rumble with because he's going to play the long game, and the way he designs the lick back is unmatched.
Yes, but that is why I am relatively suspicious of 50 Cent's motive. I'm not saying he's not a good guy. I'm just saying I don't know. And I have a healthy amount of skepticism about everybody in the entertainment industry because the pattern of behavior of like, oh, I'm going to get you when you least expect it, that's some Diddy stuff too. That's some Holly weirdo stuff. That's right out the book of that level of nonsense. So we're gonna wait and see. It's too early to tell what type of time 50 is on. But that is also why I'm a slightly like people are like, oh yeah, he's gonna do, da, da, da. We don't know what 50 Cent's gonna do, actually. We don't know why he made this documentary. So let's not jump to any conclusions.
A full documentary because I've been telling y'all that he was a clown. I've been telling y'all that this was a dweeb for many years. And y'all acting like I was being crazy. Y'all acting.
And my mom said the same thing. Every time she sees Diddy dance, she's always like, and I always like, Mom, like, don't be mean, but
like I was being rambunctious. Let me show you. Let me just show you who he is. But also, let me give a voice to the people who were otherwise silenced. Listen, okay, it's girl. On Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, you guys got to watch it. I'm sure you already did.
Wait a damn minute. So you're telling me that a girl who watched Making the...
First of all, did y'all catch how she just put her glasses on? I like that little intro. Hold on. Run it back.
Wait a damn minute. So you're telling me that a girl who watched Making the Band growing up can be an unbiased juror for...
Thank you, sister. Thank you, Sister India. Thank you. Cause what? How was she allowed to be a jury member? Like, I don't understand.
Diddy's RICO case. Please. I am so happy that I never got the Diddy propaganda on my side of TikTok when the case was actually going on. But I will say that, and if there is one thing that people can actually learn from this, is that when someone is always associated with or around drama, it's because they are the problem.
Yep.
They are the problem.
Exactly. And you should apply that to your own life. I'm going to like this one because I agree so much.
How is it that anyone who was around Diddy is somehow involved in attacking SA or shooting or violence? Just there's something around it at all times. And
exactly. This is so well stated, and I haven't heard anyone, including myself, take this perspective at this juncture in time. Like, yes, India, period.
Not only that, but it's also what an insecure, jealous man and manipulative person is willing to do to get what they want, because it is absolutely insane. Things that he did to get himself in the limelight, like on the Rolling Stone cover, on his own album, and then all that shucking and jiving he was doing on the stage, talking about "We miss you, Biggie," after he made Biggie pay for his own funeral.
Yeah.
But the last thing I will say that literally everyone can learn from this documentary is to never, ever, ever offer to take 50 Cent shopping. Immediately no. Don't.
Never offer to take 50 Cent shopping. But yeah, and don't get with 50 Cent's girl and stuff, because that I think probably contributed to where we landed. But like I said, and I like that so far, like these people aren't, because like as a society, we've been bamboozled so much that it's like, okay, like you're making this documentary, but like why 50? Like why? Are you about to really be a change agent for the culture, or are you just about to step in and you just want to make fun of Diddy because he's here, you're here, and you're going to step in and replace him? What's the reason? Because, there's been too many psyops now that everybody is becoming a conspiracy theorist. I can say I've been a conspiracy theorist because I just personally believe that anything that I've been taught, it could have the possibility of not being accurate based on, like, they told us that George Washington had wooden teeth. Like, there's so many things that have been proven false. So I just have a healthy amount of skepticism about everything. So that's why I keep going back to the suspicion thing. But I agree with this lady. And like, I mean, I don't know. And the thing is, like, I do know for a fact that the way you present information to people who don't have the full story, and in this particular situation, who are already biased against Diddy, because they already liked him. If this documentary came out before the trial, then, and there's still trials pending. Apparently there's like 77 as of the recording of the whatever, the show. But, you know, if this would have came out before when it was heavily publicized, then I think that this would have been able to change perhaps what would have happened, because it's another perspective on the story. But that's not what occurred. And maybe not, because also in cult cultures, there is a level of cognitive dissonance that occurs in like real diehard fans and supporters. Like it seems like Diddy has a lot, because even when he was working around New York, people were trying to take pictures with him. I would be so embarrassed if my friend or father, whoever was in that video, fangirling over Diddy, and then after he hugged yo, pick me yourself, then he's gonna talk about he needs some boiling water to get you off of him. You know, like have some self-respect. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, like, when you have something like that, like people in that cult mindset, they will apply cognitive, like they have cognitive dissonance. So like basically no matter what they hear about their leader, about the pillar in their mind, about their star, they don't care. They do not care, and or they don't believe it, because their mind is like they're oblivious, like they don't even see it. It doesn't even faze them. So these are the people clearly that we're dealing with. And it was I think the trial was actually in New York. Like he was like, you know what I'm saying? If the trial was in Iowa, I guarantee you it would have been a different result. So that's just something to consider. And like, if you're a part of the cult that is Sean Puffy, you know, analyze it, because something's wrong, man. And I'm not trying to come at that juror, because like I said, it depends. How information is delivered really determines how you perceive it. For Pete's sake, people thought Diddy was such an amazing dude not everybody, but some people thought he was such an amazing dude up until recently. And some people still think he is. Look at the people who were taking pictures with him. And when he gets out, if he ever gets out, look and see who, apparently, my friend told me, apparently people are defending him now. So the cognitive dissonance is real. They got these people in a cult. These people are, like they say, NPCs. Once you get heavily indoctrinated in cult culture, and you can't even see, you can't tell that it's raining. Like some of these people, Diddy could tell them it's raining outside. They could be standing outside in the desert, and they would still be like, well, he said it's raining, so let me get my umbrella. Like, what? You're in the middle of Arizona. It's not raining. Well, he said it's raining. So it's a cult. He was a cult leader, as far as it seems like, based on my researches of cults.
These jurors okay? Like, are these jurors okay?
Literally,
this lady
sis.
was very clearly a fan. Like, she was so excited to be on this trial. Yeah. But you know, the Indian guy, you know why
And she was also excited to be in the documentary. So, like, we have to really analyze and pay attention to everything. I think that you should have, I don't know, because I don't know how that could have been avoided, but they should have not, I don't know. If they, like I said, I don't know, because I don't know the laws. Like, they probably had to do it in New York, but I don't know. It could have been done differently. And I heard through the grapevine that, like, the jurors were allowed to go home and all this type of stuff. It's like, what is going on here? What is really happening? And that is why I'm still suspicious. And I say, like, some people are saying, oh, this is Hollywood being taken down. We don't know that. How many times has Hollywood fooled you before you don't just believe what they're putting out there? How many times before we find out that something was a lie, before we trust what they're saying? So personally, because of like certain things, I'm just like, we're going to wait and see if this is the downfall of Hollywood, or if this is really just a power shift. And now one is out, they got somebody else in, and the people think something changed, and really it's the same exact stuff happening, just with a new face at the front. Because that's what's happened previously. So I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer here, but I am being the realist. Like, don't get got again, you know, because at this point, if you fall for the Hollywood fodder, and if you fall for the mass media's, you know, whatever, it's like you're a lost cause. You know, you're done. Because how many times can they play you for a fool before you start being like, you know what? at least maybe let me be suspicious. You don't have to be full out like me, like, I believe it when I see it. You don't have to be like that, but at least don't fall for it. Because we don't know. This could be another psyop. So let's not hold our breath, and let's keep improving our communities. And, watch this. This is the type of stuff you watch from a distance. Okay, let's get back to it.
He's pissing me off because he's using like Bollywood and romanticizing this whole relationship
right,
without the nuance of understanding what abuse looks like. You know why? Because it's very normalized where he comes from. And
yes, exactly. There's so many clips that I be seeing at like these weddings in different places, like in India and stuff. And on the wedding day, the husband will just turn around and slap the dog mess out of the wife in front of everybody. He just turn around and psh, smack the dog mess out of her. You'd be like, what the heck? And then see, couldn't be me. Man, if I was getting married and my spouse slapped me in front of my family, especially my mama, oh, what's that song? We're gonna turn this mother out. That 70s song, we're gonna turn this mother out. My mama would light that place up. So, like, before anyone could move, she would be a blur. It would be over, So, and typically in those videos, you know what happens? Nobody does anything. Sometimes they take the wife away, and other times nothing happens. They just keep going. And I think to myself, well, people typically do less in front of others than they would do behind closed doors. So he's probably pummeling these ladies at home. And of course, we're not saying every person from this type of culture does this, but we are in agreement that this has to be somewhat normal because you see videos of their women getting slapped up all the time. You hear there's all the time you hear it. So we have to acknowledge that there might be some credence to what she's saying. It doesn't mean, because I love Indian people. I love Indian culture. Like, don't get me wrong. I be tearing up some Indian food in America. But I'm just saying, like, let's be clear here. And DV is not just an issue in his culture. It's an issue in cultures. So don't get high and mighty either. We don't support racism around here. Period.
Sorry, but if you know this man or you are his child, then you need to fucking whoop his ass and feel ashamed of him, because what the actual fuck? This is not fucking normal.
Oh, she's spewing a lot of profanity. A lot of profanity. All right, I think I'm good for now. This video is long enough anyway, but I'm just saying, don't be the odd man out here, okay? Read the tea leaves, people. These Hollywood people ain't nothing like what they say. If you want to hear more, learn about more Hollywood, like deep dive stories, I'm not that person. I would highly suggest watching Ashley Says So's videos, because I love her stories of old Hollywood scandals. Then the second person I like is the Karina Lude channel for that. And then there's also someone, if you want that real grimy, nasty, low down, dirty tea on how stuff be operating in Hollywood, you should look up Scotty Bowers, and look up Full Service by Scotty Bowers. In that book, first of all, that is what he shared. So imagine what he didn't share. And basically it's kind of like that Netflix documentary, again with Netflix, called Hollywood, where the guy had a gas station, but it wasn't just a gas station. It was a trafficking ring. Point blank, that's what it was. It was a trafficking ring that ran from a gas station, and it served people in Hollywood. So that is Hollywood. This is not new for them. This ain't new to them. They true to them. This is true to how that system operates. So I think it's very important that before we dive and say, oh, it's a change, something new's coming, hopefully. But Hollywood literally creates movies. They create scenes. They create perspectives. They have scientists, like they know how the brain works. So it's important that you have a healthy amount of distance between all this nonsense, because it's a lot going on. Let me tell you, honey, Let me tell you, honey, it's a lot going on right now. So keep your head on the swivel, stay safe, produce what you feel like you need to produce, and don't get got by this Hollywood babble, because just because Diddy went to jail, it doesn't mean that everything is changing. It could, but it doesn't mean that, because we've been bamboozled more than enough to know that it's never what it seems. So like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it. I do read the comments. You know, we're having this discourse. We're having conversations, because like if you were anything like me, like I wasn't really following when the trial was happening. So stuff in that documentary really, like, I was really shocked. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I was really like taken aback by this stuff, and I was really like, ugh, put him under the jail type stuff. But also it made me really, really, really see like the media is not on your side. The media is not on our side. Okay? Like for real, because how was he even catapulted into the space of where he was? So yeah. Man, let me stop, because I'm finna start talking again.